So I think we can all agree that we're living in the weirdest timeline here in 2021. Stuff is constantly happening that really does make me question if we're living in some sort of simulation, and every day we stray a little bit further from God. Recently I saw this news story about a teacher who was under fire for teaching her first grade class about sex education. Apparently this was part of the curriculum at Dalton Private School, where parents pay upwards of $55,000 a year for a first grade education for their kids, which is honestly one of the most ridiculous waste of money I've ever heard. You're shelling out all of that dough just for your kid to turn out softer than Charmin. If I'm paying $50,000 a year for my first grader to go to school, Tom Brady better be the gym teacher, Gordon Ramsay better be the lunch lady, Jack Black better be teaching the music lessons, and Cameron Diaz needs to be making some personal home visits to meet the father. And the other thing is, why are kids this age learning about sex education? These are 6-year-olds, and to me anything before middle school is really just unnecessary for that type of thing. When I was in first grade, we were still learning how to read and write, maybe some multiplication tables, still running around the playground, and all really just hoping to finish enough books by the end of the year to go to the pizza party. But these days they really want kids to know it all, so they have these types of classes where they show these quote-unquote educational videos, and I watched one of these videos in question and it was beyond inappropriate for a 6 to 7-year-old kid.
Whoa! Watch it! You almost hit me in the pee-pee!
What's so funny, you two?
He said pee-pee.
Do you notice that when you say pee-pee, you giggle, but when you say penis, you say it in a serious voice?
I never noticed that before.
So I don't know about you guys, but if a random lady walked up to me at the park with my friend and my chicken and even my lizard and started talking about this stuff, that would have been the type of person my parents would have instructed me to get the fuck away from. Stranger danger, stranger danger. She's trying to touch me.
What's one for a girl's private parts?
Vajayjay!
So they go into more details about their parts, and they even show cartoon versions of reproductive anatomy, kind of explaining what all the different parts do and why they're so important.
Hey, how come my penis gets big sometimes and points up in the air?
That's called an erection.
Sometimes I touch my penis because it feels good.
Sometimes, when I'm in my bath or when Mom puts me to bed, I like to touch my vulva too.
You have a clitoris there, Kayla, that probably feels good to touch the same way Keith's penis feels good when he touches it.
Now that was some out-of-pocket shit to be teaching to a 6-year-old kid. I mean, truly, at that age, if a kid is already discussing those types of things and exploring themselves in that way, you might have some other questions to be asking them, and you should really be praying that nothing traumatic has happened. Maybe showing this sort of video to a 6th or 7th grade class would have made a little bit more sense, because that's when most people actually start going through puberty and noticing things about their bodies. But this is so over the top, it almost seems like some sort of meme.
It's okay to touch yourself and see how different body parts feel, but it's best to only do it in private.
Hey, Squeaks, pass it.
Wait! Okay.
Yeah, we wouldn't want that soccer ball to hit your lizard dick. Look, call me old-fashioned, but I see nothing okay with what's going on here. If you want to teach kids about consent and keeping your hands and your body to yourself, and even teaching some sort of body positivity, I'm really all here for it. But this type of lesson in my book is really just taking things way too far. This is too woke and too progressive, even for me. It's one thing if you're teaching a kid how to keep themselves clean, or teaching a kid the differences between a man and a woman, but all this other stuff is really just not age appropriate. Other lessons also include instructions that your grandparents should ask for your consent before they give you a hug, and they even spent over a week learning about gender identity. So it's safe to say paying $50,000 a year for these types of lessons is a fucking joke. The whole situation is fucked. Just burn it all down, start it all over. I mean, really guys, where are we heading as a society when these are the types of things they're teaching these very young kids? Let me know how you feel about this down below. From my older crowd that do have kids, I really want y'all to chime in today. But as always, I do want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like, and maybe even consider subscribing. I do encourage you to follow me on my social medias. That's at JAMARI Speaks on both Twitter and Instagram. And as you guys know, there's some other crazy people out here that need to get covered. So it's been your boy, the Tan Superman, and I'm out. Peace!